Hi, this is Winn Claybaugh. Welcome to my Best of Masters weekly audio blog for AmericanSalon.com. Next up is one of my favorite clips from the last 20 years of inspiring interviews from Masters Audio Club. Enjoy and learn. I want you to know that we're actually kind of joined here today. First in person, James Morrison is here in the room. Mary Rector from behind the chair is also here in the room with us. And also, I kind of put the word out there, and I got emails and phone calls from Sam Boccato, who emailed me over a list of things that he wanted me to ask you. Mary Bernetti, Vivian McKinder, Beth Minardi, David Wagner. They all wish they were me today to have this opportunity to ask you some of these questions. And I think we can kind of go in two different directions. Obviously, people want to ask you about the art. People want to ask you about the craft. And it seemed like what came up a lot was from people like Vivian McKinder and Beth and others. Where are the new heroes of the beauty industry when you consider that you were making a name for yourself when you were in your 20s, as were many other. Name some of the superstars today. They started way back then. And I think maybe there's a concern or a question about, well, who is that next up-and-coming superstar or somebody who created a revolution within the beauty industry as you did yourself? When is that next person going to come along? And we were talking about this last night at dinner, that maybe the generation of today entering the beauty industry, that new hairdresser, they want to have it all right now. And in some ways, that is attractive. In some ways, their expectations or their scope of what they can accomplish in this industry is high, but maybe the concern that we have is that they're not willing to put forth the effort and have the discipline. What do you have to say about any of that?
Well, every leader that I've spoken to recently or spoken to me, and they've said, why didn't you say something about standards? Now, I want to be very constructive when we talk about standards. Deconstruction of the look is okay, but flamboyant deconstruction where people just pick up hair and they're acting to themselves in the mirror,
right?
To make the client feel good, and the hair looks terrible. You walk around the streets, where are the great cuts? Where are the great looks? And you think to yourself, wait a minute. I'm very admiring talking to you when you said you opened 6 schools in 1 week.
6 grand openings in 1 week, yeah.
Tony and Guy, represented here by James, do a marvelous job in teaching as well. And of course, the Sassoon group, that's been what it's all about since '67. When we opened our first academy, it's teaching. And now there's an academy in Shanghai. So there's enough of us to say, hey, get back to learning how to cut hair. Use those scissors beautifully, make shapes, angles. It's not just getting through 3-4 clients an hour. That's not what it's about. It's an art form. Be creative. Enjoy your art form. And the discipline, that's the problem, you see. People, as you said before, people want it easy. There's only one place that success comes before work, and that's in the dictionary. You have to work, you have to learn the cutting, the angles, the movements, and even the wild looks have got to have great cuts and beautiful color. So we've got to get back to teaching. And people who are doing stage presentations have got to get back to hairdressing. Beautiful hair. You do walk around the streets and you say, where are the great shapes? Where are they? You see, and you're not seeing that many. So it's up to all of us to start to say, hey, we're a craft, we're an art form. Yes, you can go on your own and do what comes from your gut, the natural thing for you. But first learn the techniques. Learn the techniques. They're so important. No great artist, or very, very few, have just become artists. They had to go through painting school. They had to learn their techniques. And that's what we've got to do in hairdressing once again. Because it is getting slack. There's no question about it. And there are too many people who think they're wonderful. And it's all showbiz.
Right.
It's not getting down to the solid sense of what that cut is all about, suiting the bone structure. and the color, and just the joy of making someone look fantastic, not just for 5 minutes, but so that they can keep their hair looking wonderful for 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
Right.
Perfect.